Morning everyone. Myself, Aldo, Zoe, Ryan and Josh are from Unique Human Resources Consulting, and in this presentation we will be discussing our findings from study of administration specialist performance appraisals and our recommendations. Firstly, we'd like to highlight how important performance appraisal is to a company's operations. It assists with setting measurable goals for individual employees, clarifying expectations of work, and encourage effective feedbacks and equitable rewards. It's particularly important for a firm like EB Solutions, where providing quality service and forming strong customer relationship is key to success. We conducted an anonymous survey of employees of all levels of the organization to get an understanding on how they feel about the current performance appraisal system. We found that many employees were concerned about being provided with generic feedback as it affected their career progression. Based on these results, we will provide our suggestions to align with the company's missions and values. My colleague Zoe will now be sharing the survey responses.
Thanks, Jessica. As Jess just mentioned, we conducted an anonymous survey across various levels of the organisation to gauge how employees feel about the current performance appraisal methods for administrative specialists. Here are a few examples which we gathered. This first comment is from a supervisor.
As a team leader, I find the high turnover that EB experiences quite frustrating, as we are unable to hold on to our most experienced employees who are providing the high quality services we are trying to achieve. Many employees that have left have expressed concerns that they don't feel their performance is being reflected in their bonuses, and they haven't received the development necessary to progress their career.
This second comment is from an administrative specialist who has been with EB for 2 years.
I've always found that my feedback was super generic and not specific to my role at all. The rater was not always my direct supervisor, and I got the feeling that they didn't know exactly what I do in my job. I've also heard of other employees who thought they had been unfairly rated and there was nothing they could do about it. One of them even left the company as a result.
This final comment is from a senior manager.
Building and fostering client relationships is key to what makes us good at what we do. Clients have to trust the solutions that we provide them with. I think the high turnover impedes on this strategic goal. How are we supposed to build these relationships if the clients are dealing with a different admin specialist every few months? We also don't ask for any feedback from our clients on how their experiences was in dealing with the administrative specialists. Surely this is something we should be doing.
These concerns were the most widely held among survey respondents. The key problems can be summarised as high turnover, which can also be seen in the fact that 89% of employees have been with the firm for less than 2 years, a lack of personalised training and career development, a very weak link between performance and the results of the performance appraisal, little input or empowerment from the employee being evaluated, and not involving clients in the feedback process.
Ryan will now take you through some of the approaches we considered.
Thanks, Zoe. There were a number of options we considered when reviewing the survey results and structuring our recommendations. Some of these methods include behavioral anchored rating scales, or bars. This method features graphic scales prepared based on job analysis in an effort to rate behavior. The system is advantageous as each point is clearly defined, allowing different raters to interpret the scale the same way. However, it is time-consuming and its advantages are not easily apparent. Secondly, we had critical incident method. This method involves identifying and describing specific events relating to effective or ineffective job performances with a view to assessing the worth of a job or the performance of an employee. An advantage with this method is that it can help employees improve on performance since it is based on direct observations by the supervisor, so the information is specific to each employee. On the other hand, just like bars, it is time-consuming and requires consistent work on the part of the raters. In addition, delaying the recording of earlier critical incident reports, which can be good or bad, means a loss of detail and accuracy. Lastly, there was management by objectives, or MBO. In MBO, specific goals are set that are agreed to by both management and employees, then further refined by assigning them into key results areas based on the organizational objectives. Evaluation is performed each period and not only serves to reflect the results achieved, but also establishes new objectives in place of completed ones. MBO provides several advantages. For example, participation and commitment is promoted as employees have a say in goal setting. Additionally, its regular performance evaluations allow each organization to consistently measure performance, increasing its reliability and promoting regular improvement. However, the method has been criticized as continuous evaluations are often time-consuming and expensive to maintain. Additionally, the focus on outcomes may be inappropriate as some rely on outside factors that the employee cannot control, such as the external sales environment. Finally, the results-oriented nature of MBO is likely to produce a disadvantageous short-term perspective within work culture. Although these options can be implemented, we decided that 360-degree performance appraisal will be the most effective and relevant method to solve the issues identified with EB's performance appraisal. Zoe will now provide more information on why we chose this method.
Thanks, Ryan. At Unique Human Resources, we have specifically implemented 360-degree performance appraisal in many firms similar to EB, where quality, services, and customer relationships are key. I will also discuss the significant empirical evidence which further supports implementation of 360. 360-degree performance appraisal is a method which involves collecting a range of data from quantitative sources and a number of raters that the employee interacts with, including superiors, subordinates, team members, external stakeholders, and customers, as well as a self-evaluation. For a service firm who differentiates itself on quality and the creation of customer relationships, 360 degrees appraisal offers a host of benefits. Sahu et al.'s 2012 study found that implementing 360-degree over individual feedback, as is currently in practice at EB, produced a definite improvement in performance, made teams more accountable, is one of the best methods for identifying personal and professional development needs. 360 also helps to develop a climate of trust and honesty, essential in a firm such as EB, where strong ethics are central to company values. The data collected in the process is also very useful for conducting qualitative and quantitative analysis between teams, individuals, and departments. Implementing 360 supports a high-performance culture by providing employees with a better understanding of their strengths, weaknesses, and a sound basis for development planning and performance improvement. It is also a much more balanced and transparent process, which will reduce the chance of conflict or potential legal action. Sahu's study also found that employees find 360-degree appraisal is much more reflective of their performance and is much more validating, while in 2012, Dushami found that when remuneration is reflective of an employee's performance, job satisfaction increases. The multi-rater nature of 360-degree appraisal also reduces the chance of discrimination. Being involved in other employees' performance appraisals also makes employees feel like more valuable members of the organisation, increasing job satisfaction and overall well-being. While 360 offers a host of benefits for both organisations and employees, there are some implementation difficulties which may hinder these benefits. These include survey bias and the increased resources required for adequate implementation. In 2009, Mason found that survey bias can be reduced by dividing survey responses into categories that avoid non-committal responses, for example, poor, fair, good, and very good. Surveys must be well designed and be reviewed and realigned with individual team and company goals. It is also more difficult to collect the data required for 360 because it must come from multiple raters. We are, however, able to help EB through this process to ensure rigorous processes are in place to maximise the efficiency and effectiveness of the performance appraisal process.
We recommend that EB adopts biannual 360-degree performance appraisals which utilise surveys from supervisors, team members, customers, as well as statistical data and a self-evaluation. A fortnightly review of statistical data should also be held between admin specialists and their supervisors, where managing by objectives can be used to monitor performance. This recommendation will increase job satisfaction and thereby turnover, create a much more rigorous basis to identify talent and career development opportunities, make performance appraisal more reflective of individual performance in terms of company strategy and objectives, and improve client relationships and the quality of services provided. On behalf of the team, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to work with EB, and we look forward to working with you in the future.